To welcome with me, Congresswoman Michelle Lujan Grisham. Thank you so much. I wish this crowd was clearer about the #1 issue we got to get addressed in this country. Can I get you to care about health care? So you're going to get a ton of incredible speakers, and you already have. And everybody knows that your delegation -1 is very clear about working together to make sure that we do 3 things productively, right? That any healthcare issues we're addressing in Congress provide better coverage, lower cost, and higher quality for you. If it doesn't do that, we're not doing it, all right? 2, that we're going to be very clear and transparent. This was never about health care for the Republicans in Congress. Why we're even having a conversation about what they're doing in health care is the most disingenuous, unfair, inappropriate conversation and messaging. This is a tax break for their buddies. That's it. It's a $900 billion tax break, not just to the super rich, my friends. No. It's also to pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies and insurance CEOs. And the last time I checked, I don't think somebody making on average $14 million a year saying I can't get authorization for a life-saving healthcare procedure ought to get a tax break. And 3, thank God, because the 2 fabulous, wonderful men in the Senate would never, under any circumstances, look at healthcare issues without a single woman at the table doing that work. Because it's not about healthcare. Everybody knows, every study, women make the healthcare decisions for their families. They do the enrollment. They pick the pediatricians. God knows we get our partners to go to the doctor. We get our parents and our in-laws and our cousins and our neighbors. We are the consumers. We are the navigators. We are the decision makers. We know. And not a single woman. And why? Is it because, well, probably we've got some problems in the Senate with men appreciating and respecting women, but it's not about health care. It's about tax breaks. And this is what the president wants. He wants his own tax breaks. And they would be willing to do that, and I'm preaching to the choir, so giving you the specifics. But even if we didn't believe that health care should be a right, even if 5,000 calls, emails, letters to my office, I want to put this in perspective. Since I was elected in 2012, there's been a lot of really important, difficult issues before Congress, not the least of which is, what are we doing about the Middle East and Iran? I've received more contacts from New Mexicans about what's going on in Congress with healthcare than any other bill in my congressional career. And on the day that I voted against a tax break and against repealing the Affordable Care Act, I walked to my office and took another call. And I'm going to do this quickly because I know you know these stories. I talked to parents. Actually soon-to-be parents. And the wife of this couple explained to me that exactly like the Jimmy Kimmel situation, that an ultrasound revealed a heart defect in her unborn child. They have coverage. They're going to deliver that child. They probably are going to have to see, right, a pediatric cardiologist here. They may have to go out of state. I hope not. We've got some great practitioners here. But the point is, they can get what they need. But she's not worried about that moment, right? And she needs to be, because, you know, my daughter, when she was delivering my first and only grandchild, they thought there was a heart problem for this baby. And you know, all we were doing as a family was worrying about the mother and the baby. We did everything that you do. We called doctors. In fact, one of the doctors I think I called, Tom Rothfeld, is right here somewhere. All right, there he is. So that's what you do. Do you know what they're worried about? Do you know what hurt me the most? Because all of these issues about your health are terrifying. But they can't focus on the steps for that baby, because what they're really worried about, will they get to make a decision to make sure that he has access to coverage, because they don't know if his pre-existing condition, whether they can afford or whether they can be discriminated against for coverage. Now, how do I answer that question? What kind of a country would put that couple in that situation in order to give a tax break to pharmaceutical companies? It's the most outrageous thing. So I could do two more, and I was going to, but let's do this instead. I want you to do what you're doing. I need this energy. I need this frustration. I need this anger. We should be damn mad about what they're doing. I am mad, and I am motivated. And I don't think he needs any help from me. But I'm going to rollerblade over to Martin Heinrich's office and Tom Udall's office, because we're going to stop this thing. I know he's here somewhere. There we go. We're going to stop this thing in its tracks. And last, and then we have to have the courage as a nation to really do what's right in healthcare, which means focus on the patients and make sure they have access to every healthcare issue they need and rightfully deserve in this country.